Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Lewinter with my lovely co-host, acupuncture partner, and mom, Dr. Andrea Lewinter. Mom, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm ready for our 10-degree outing in Atlanta.
Our 10-degree outing, absolutely. I think a little bit of what you're referring to is the celebration that I wanted to have you be a part of today, and I wanted to share with our listeners. And the celebration, it's official. Today, I completed the 6th year of my run streak.
Yahoo!
So, uh, a few years ago, I think it was right, before I turned 40, I remembered the value of running and how I just loved it in high school. I did track, I did cross country, and then I didn't do it really much at all after that. Didn't do it much, if at all, in college, acupuncture school, went several years without exercise. And at our acupuncture practice, there was a part-time person who was a student at Georgia Tech, and he's was also a student athlete, and he ran the 800-meter race. And he would just talk about his racing, or I would ask him about it. And I remembered the joy that I experienced with racing, the rush, the excitement, the hard parts, but also the reward of completing a challenge. So from about 39 to 45, I had a running coach and would train for races. I often did 5Ks because I liked you could do those almost every weekend, and I liked that 3.1 miles. And I kept wanting to get my time faster and faster, and it would mean that about 5 to 6 days a week, I would be running 4, 5, sometimes 10, 12 miles, depending on the day. I'd be doing different workouts, and I was pushing myself, and I was getting faster and faster, but I remember after some long runs, I could feel some missed heartbeats. I would have to wake up very early in the morning on long run days, sometimes 4:30, to be able to get a run that was gonna take an hour and 15 minutes, sometimes an hour and 30 minutes done before everyone else woke up so that my exercise wasn't interfering with my family life. And so it was something that I wanted to do, and it was very exciting, and I was able to win a couple races and often, be the fastest in my age group. And one time I had all these different medals and trophies, and I laid them all out. I took a picture of them, and then I threw them away. But I was very proud of a all of them and still am, and I'm also glad that I don't have the clutter. But I remember a race where I was midway through the race and I was pushing myself, and I thought to myself, is that kind of that voice? I thought, Mark, what are you doing? You're hurting yourself. And when I was racing, it wasn't maybe coming from the best mindset. It was maybe trying to prove something to myself, or some shadow that I wasn't fully aware of. It was both good and complex. It was a lot. So I remember thinking how much I enjoy running, but I felt like I couldn't keep doing it the way that I had been.
Mhm.
So I became curious about a run streak. And that's not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. I wanted to continue to be a runner. I wanted to identify as a runner. But I didn't want to be pushing myself to this capacity. And I was very fortunate, I think, with my coaches and my awareness of health and wellness as an acupuncturist. I never experienced any. Oh, I may have experienced mild injuries, but they were able to be taken care of very quickly. And I never experienced a chronic injury. I came to the conclusion about 6 years ago, almost exactly, that I would like to do a run streak. And that means that I run 1 mile a day, every day, and I haven't missed a day. Today is what is today? Today is Thursday, January 9th, 2025, and today completes the 6th year of my run streak. And all goes well. As one of our teachers said, the good Lord willing, and if the creek doesn't rise, tomorrow I will start My 7th year, starting 7th year of the run streak. It happens one day at a time, and it's a very exciting thing. I've run in many different countries. I've run in many different time zones. I've run when it's cold outside. I've run when it's hot outside. I've run inside. I've run outside. Great stories. And by the way, if you're a runner and you like to travel, I found one of the best ways to see a city is by walking or running through it. It's just a wonderful experience. I obviously have a lot to say about this, and I am appreciative, Mom, of you sharing this celebration today, this anniversary. And I thought we could just talk about that and talk about what this has taught me, maybe what it's taught you, and a little bit more. So, cheers.
I really admire you for this practice because it is a discipline. It's a discipline that you have not compromised for 6 full years. You have said every day, "This is what I'm gonna do today." And it didn't matter when, because I've heard you many times, didn't matter when it happened, it was that it happened. And I think sometimes with things like this, when we promise ourselves that, "Oh, I can't do it because I missed my time. Oh, I can't do it because I missed my day." And it wasn't about the day or it wasn't about the time. It was that commitment of saying, "I'm going to do 1 mile every single day." And that's an extraordinary discipline that you've maintained for this length of time. So, I am very proud of you.
And it's interesting because I then begin to identify with that, and you think, when will it stop? What happens? There also can be fear, like, what if I get injured? So sometimes I wanna think maybe beyond the run streak, and I'll ask myself, and this is perhaps a good thing when it comes to health and wellness, because one might be eating healthfully for days, months, weeks, years, and then they go to that birthday party or they go on that vacation, and then they
Yes,
say they taste all those foods that they hadn't had before, and it's hard for them to get back.
yes,
Suddenly, one cheat day becomes a cheat week, becomes a cheat month, becomes a cheat year, becomes a cheat decade.
yes.
I feel fortunate that I have been able to run every day, but what I can say in that is that it's never been easy. I know that it is a decision that I need to make, and every single time right before the run, I never wanna do it. I never wanna do it. But there's also a part of me that does wanna do it. I'm being playful, so before, never wanna do it. After the run, I am always glad that I did it and feel better. So we talked about one time on the blog, and you mentioned to me on another video, what is it like if those 2 things come together? And I see it as one thing. So it's not, "Oh, I don't wanna do this, and then I'll feel better afterwards." It's just all part of that one thing. So this is
One
just one
practice.
example of what the practice has taught me. Now, I feel very fortunate that this practice is one that increases my heart rate. I sweat a little bit. I do it in such a limited way. I think that it's helpful for my bone density. Even though I run a mile, it's 10 minutes. It's a slow mile. I can tell it gives me a chance to be with my thoughts. I often don't run with music. I have. But what I notice is that I feel better. I feel better. I remember one time I did a run, and I'm not suggesting one does this, but my back was hurting,
Mhm.
but I needed to get the run done. And I didn't know this was gonna be the case. So this is not a suggestion. I'm just sharing my individual one-time experience because I've also run with backache sometimes, and it didn't get better. But I remember one time I started the run, I had backache. I had backache for hours. I did the run, and then the backache went away. But this can make sense because of maybe endorphins or the value of exercise, the pain relieving properties that exercise provides. But you wouldn't think, "Hey, your back is hurting, go for a run." But in that case, it did help me.
And there've been a lot of studies about that, is that people that have chronic backache will choose not to do anything, and they're encouraged, like I said, after many years and many studies about the dynamics of the body and so on, are encouraged. You don't have to run, but just take a slow walk, even if it's just down to the corner and back again, or down to the end of the driveway and back again. Just get some movement there. And I think we could look at it through physiology and say, okay, it's the blood movement, it's this, it's that. But I think there's another piece to that where when I'm doing something, my mental frame changes and we're putting a new frame around that backache, is that it's not limiting. It's something that I'm going to move with. And it's that movement. Movement is life. And it's that movement that is the benefit.
Absolutely, and one of
Doesn't
the
have to be extreme.
and that's great. It doesn't have to be extreme. I This has taught me about the value of micro resets. I'm running 1 mile, but I'll tell you, my whole sense of my surroundings can change from feeling a little bit melancholy to after a 1 mile run within
Mhm.
10 minutes. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, yeah, here, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. I have heard it say that exercise really can be for wellness and longevity one of the best medicines. So
Yes.
I wanted to learn how to keep this thing that was of value to me, but have it be precious so it could be used over time and it being in a way that is digestible in small pieces. And the 1 mile is perfect for me.
Yeah, I agree with you. We all have to set certain boundaries. Pushing ourselves and finding that, oh, we have shin splints and we have sore feet and so on. That's not sustainable over time. And then, like I said, so many people will go, they'll flip just exactly what you said. Oh, I'm not going to do this. And then they go the opposite direction where they're doing nothing. To find that balance, to find that, whether it's running or yoga or dancing, it doesn't matter what it is, just so that you can enjoy it, because by enjoying it, you're getting all the benefits of exercise.
And the benefits are numerous.
And the
It's yep,
benefits are
yep,
numerous,
yep,
from
and
mental stability to our soma, our body. Yeah, so it's a good thing.
it's a good
Be
thing, and
proud.
I'm becoming more interested in noticing how there are certain things that are just hard in life or challenging, but there's a reward on the other end, and what running has taught me is to embrace the challenge because really, if I think about it, for me, almost every second of running is both great and not great. Like, when people say running sucks, it's
Yeah.
like, absolutely, you're pushing yourself, you're breathing hard, so don't do too much of it. If it For me, it was like, don't do too much of it, but it also is this wonderful thing. We talk about movement, and as acupuncturists, we might use the word qi, nervous system. One of the reasons for pain, they say, would be stuck qi. How do we get movement? We can get movement through our voice, we can get movement through our limbs and our torso, but to keep us moving is really valuable.
Life is movement.
Life is movement. The movement has happened today. I finished the run and I have completed the 6th year tomorrow, start the 7th, and hopefully, good Lord's willing, and the creek doesn't rise, we'll be able to do a video next year and I can celebrate the 7th. And if not, I do see that it's something bigger than the streak.
Yes.
The streak has helped me realize just you gotta get out there all the time. But I'm saying this for the first time because I think I'm realizing it for the first time that if for some reason the streak ended, I believe it would be more important to restart the streak. I got into running because I love it, Then it became an ego thing. How can I get faster? Oh, I can run so much. But then I was concerned there's a price at that. Now have this streak. Oh, I do this every day. But at this point, at least today, I'm more interested in the wellness benefit. And I framed this so it is something I can do every day. It's not this heroic effort. Wisdom's come. But boy, it was hard earned. It's really hard earned. Thank you.
Congratulations and congratulations. I
Yeah.
think it's a wonderful thing that you've done for yourself.
Yeah. So maybe a question to the audience would be, is there something that you don't have to tell someone that exercise is beneficial for? We all
That's right.
know this.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
is there something that you enjoy doing physically? Is there something that you used to enjoy doing that you're not doing anymore? Is there a belief about your health or what your body can do that's holding you back? Is that belief still real? It may be. It may not be. Is there a interest in learning something new or doing something new that would be beneficial for you for in terms of exercise? Um, is there resistance? How long has that resistance been there? So I've had to dig real deep each day to get myself out the door. The hardest part
Getting out the door.
is getting out the door. Once I get down that driveway and I take those first few steps, it's already done. But we as acupuncturists like helping people. But I think the best thing we can do is offer an opportunity, teaching, awareness, maybe a deep sense of rest so that they can make the best decisions to help themselves
Mm, mm.
moving forward. Ultimately, we're focused on longevity and wellness, and this, for most of us, is a personal journey.
Yeah. We can just offer, and that's what I find. You can't get somebody out the door and down the driveway, but you can offer encouragement and that person has to take it from there. But so much of our interaction with patients is when we say things like this, like exercise is good for you, or a whole food plant diet is better than McDonald's. People will always say consistently, I know. So we know, we already know. And I think the exploration that you've done is like, what is their resistance? What is that about? What do you love what did you love to do? It may have been 30 years ago that you could maybe not do the same way, but you could still enjoy some aspect of that. If you were a gymnast as a very young person, you might not be able to do all the things that you did at that time, but certainly there are many of them and it could be manifested in through different disciplines. Yeah, so find what you love.
Yeah, if you it's oversimplified and again, not be can't be the case for everyone's tragedy can happen,
That's
but if you don't use it, you might lose it.
yeah.
And this body that we have is precious. So we want to be able to keep it healthy, and exercise is a great way to do that. So, I'm Dr. Mark Lewinter, licensed acupuncturist with my mom, Dr. Andrea Lewinter, and we practice at Metro Acupuncture in Sandy Springs. Our website is metroacupuncture.com, and at the website you can book an appointment. And we look forward to seeing you, and we will see you next time.
And the streak will continue.
Take it one day at a time.
Thank you for your listening.